Democrats crow about fundraising in competitive Senate races. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share Democrats are boasting of eye-popping fundraising hauls in some of this year's top Senate contests, a potential sign of voter enthusiasm in what remains an uphill quest to win the Senate majority. In the first 3 months of the year, Texas Democratic Senate candidate James Talarico's campaign said he brought in $27 million, while vulnerable incumbent Sen. Jon Ossoff of Georgia said he raised $14 million. Former North Carolina Gov. Roy Cooper's campaign said he'll report $13.8 million, and former Sen. Sherrod Brown will report $12.5 million in his comeback bid in Ohio. The money will help Democrats make their case to voters and counter Republican attacks, but it doesn't change the fundamental fact that control of the Senate will be decided in territory that favors Republicans, except for Maine, where Democrats Graham Platner and Janet Mills are still battling for the party's nomination to challenge Republican Sen. Susan Collins. All of the top battleground races are in states President Donald Trump won in 2024. While Democrats touted their totals, they offer only a snapshot of overall fundraising as campaigns had until the end of the day Wednesday to file with the Federal Election Commission. Republicans lagged in races where Republicans had reported their fundraising by Tuesday evening. Democrats were far outpacing them. In Texas, incumbent Sen. John Cornyn and State Attorney General Ken Paxton, who are locked in a bitter runoff for the GOP nomination, raised $2.5 million combined, less than 10% of Talarico's revenue for the quarter. Two of the three main Republicans in Georgia, Derek Dooley and Buddy Carter, combined for about $1.1 million. The third, Mike Collins, had not yet reported his fundraising as of Wednesday evening. Former Republican National Committee Chair Michael Whatley raised $2.1 million in North Carolina, and Sen. Jon Husted raised $2.9 million in Ohio. Read more. Collins, a top target for Democrats, raised $3.1 million in Maine. Mills, the governor who is preferred by much of the Democratic establishment, said she'll report raising $2.6 million, while Platner, an oyster farmer backed by progressive leaders including Sen. Bernie Sanders, said he raised $4 million. In Alaska, Democratic former Rep. Mary Peltola said she'll report raising $8.9 million, compared with $1.7 million for Republican Sen. Dan Sullivan. Money isn't everything, Republicans said flush coffers don't guarantee victory. Retiring Republican Sen. Tom Tillis of North Carolina pointed out that his opponent in 2020 also celebrated successful fundraising quarters, but didn't win. Democrats Beto O'Rourke in 2018 in Texas and Jane Harrison in 2020 in South Carolina shattered fundraising records and still lost to their Republican rivals. We don't have to outraise them, Tillis said. We just got to outrun them. There's an imbalance in Republicans' favor at the National Committee level. The Republican National Committee reported roughly $109 million cash on hand in its most recent FEC filing, compared with roughly $16 million for their Democratic counterpart, plus Democrats are carrying about $17 million in debt. Waiting in the wings for Republicans is a super political action committee tied to Trump, MAGA, Inc., which has more than $300 million cash on hand, according to the FEC. The rosy first quarter contributions carry some advantages for Democrats, namely the ability to buy limited advertising slots ahead of the election to get on the air early and make an impression with voters. Candidates also get favorable rates for television ads, so their money goes further than independent expenditures by outside groups, though that advantage is eroding as ad spending increasingly shifts toward digital streaming. Winning in Texas will require unprecedented resources, Talarico campaign manager Seth Crassley said in a statement. This grassroots fundraising haul puts our movement in a strong position to spread our message in some of the most expensive media markets in the country. Talarico will face the winner of the GOP runoff on May 26 between Cornyn and Paxton. Associated Press writer Joey Capoletti in Washington contributed to this report.